Hello everyone, welcome back. So we are now on day 2, volume of cylinders. So cylinders consist of 2 circles and 1 rectangle if you laid it flat. Okay, so if you laid it flat, you would have a circle, a rectangle, and another circle. Okay, so that's what would make a cylinder. So in order to find the volume again, we're going to be finding the area of the base and timesing it by the height. And what's unique about this one is that the area of a cylinder is always a circle, okay? So that's gonna help you out. The lateral face is the sides of the cylinder that are not the bases. Okay, so we're talking about that rectangle piece. Formula, again, pi r squared times the height, because the area of a circle is pi r squared, and then I times it by the height. So very similar with the volume of all these solids, just knowing what the base is and knowing what that formula is, okay? So in order to be consistent, we're going to be using 3.14 for pi instead of using the pi button on our calculators. That's so we can all have the same consistent answer. So please try to do that when you plug these in. So pi times 7 squared times 25. The 7 is the radius, the height is 25. Please be careful to do 7 squared, not pi times 7 squared. Okay, so I like to do 7 squared first, which is 49, to make sure that I get the same answer and I don't mess up on my calculator. So 3.14 times 49 times 25. Do this along with me. So 3846.5. Whenever I'm working out these video notes, I like to work out the problems myself too to make sure that I understand how to put it into the calculator. All right, number 2. Now, the diameter is 10, so I have to use half of that. So the radius is 5, the height is 4. So pi times 5 squared times 4, and let's get to it. So pi times 25 times 4. So that's 314 inches cubed. Oh man, did I do the first one squared? I did. Make sure to cube it. It is volume. There we go. So cube for number 1, cube for number 2. All right. Let's rock out number 3. So again, think about the area of the base, which is a circle. The diameter is 6, so half of that is 3. That makes a difference when you're solving. So pi times 3 squared times 10. Make sure you square first. And we're just plugging along for these problems. 3.14 times 9 times 10, and there we go. 282.6 feet cubed. All right. Number 4, it's in terms of x, so a little bit more complicated, but not too much. So 3x squared times pi times 5x plus 4. So again, we want to use the square button first. We're going to keep it in terms of pi, so we're not going to really times it by pi. So I have 9x squared times 5x plus 4. This is really helpful for you for your future math classes. So 45x cubed, because there are 3 x's, plus 9 times 4 is 36x squared pi centimeters cubed. And there we go. So we squared the radius, then we times it by the height, and then put it in terms of pi and x. All right, let's do some word problems. Get you ready for that final. So you have to pick 2 cylindrical containers, which has the greater volume. All right, so we're just comparing. So I have 6 squared times pi times 13. I have pi times 8 squared times 7.5. Okay, so this one has the bigger height, and this one has the larger radius and the larger base. So let's see how that affects it. So 36 times 3.14 times 13 equals 1,469.52 meters cubed. And the one on the right, 64 times 3.14 times 7.5 is 1,507.2 meters cubed. Okay, so cylinder B with the larger radius can hold more. Now we're going to work backwards, so we're going to find the height. So what I like to do is write down the formula and see what I have. So I have pi times r squared times height, and that equals 5,024. The diameter is 16, so that means the radius is 8. So I'm going to put 8 into the formula and work backwards. Boop, 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 boop. Ayo. So then I have pi times 64 times height, which equals 5,024. So I'm going to keep on going. So what do I need to do? I need to isolate that h. So I got to multiply the pi times 64. So 64 times 3.14. 200.96 h equals 5,024. There we go. Then opposite of multiplying, dividing. So I'm going to divide 200.96 and find my height. Winner, winner. So 5,024 divided by 200.96. And my height is 25 inches. It's not cubed because my height isn't cubed. My volume is cubed, but I worked backwards to find my height. Perfect. Now I'm going to find the radius. Okay, this is going to be a little bit trickier because I have to square root, but we got this. So pi times r squared times, what do I got? It's what I got. I got 8, and that equals 25.12. So I'm going to times pi and 8, and then move it to the other side. So 3.14 times 8 is 25.12 radius squared. They look pretty similar on both sides, I believe. That's okay. Let's just keep going. 25.12 divided by 25.12. Well, that means r squared equals 1. The square root of 1 is just 1. So the radius is 1. All right, so thank you for joining me on day 2. Have a great day, Huskies.